Hey, this is Kate. I'm a forensic psychologist and crisis clinician, and I collect stories. Everything from true crime to trauma to parenthood. There's a lot more in common between depression and sociopathy, or between serial killers and podcasters, than you might think. Are you sure you really want to know? This is Ignorance Was Bliss at iwbpodcast.com and IWB Podcast on social media.
Hello and welcome to Happy Horror Time. I'm Tim Murdoch.
And I'm Matt Emmert, and we are so lucky to welcome to the podcast today. She is one of the stars of the 1980s cult classic, Night of the Creeps. She played Cynthia Cronenberg, and her name is Jill Whitlow. Hi, and welcome, Jill.
Thank you. How are you guys?
We are good, and we are so happy to have you on the podcast. We've been very excited about this, so thank you for taking the time.
I'm happy too.
So we have, a ton of questions about Night of the Creeps, but before we even get started into that, I read that you made your acting debut at age 3 in TV commercials.
I did.
How did you get involved in acting so young, and what commercials were you in?
Well, my mom had me with her at the grocery store, and I grew up in Coral Gables, which is Miami, Florida. Oh. And there was an agent at the store. She walked up to my mom and said, she is the cutest thing. She looks just like Shirley Temple, because I had this black curly hair.
Wow.
And it was very, very curly. And she said, I would love to have her, go on an interview or two, whatever. Because I would love to have her with my agency. And my mom's like, okay. So she said, we'll try it. So I went out for a ketchup commercial.
Nice.
Do you remember the ketchup commercials with the horse?
Was it Heinz, or was it like?
Yes.
Oh,
of course it was Heinz.
I know. I was gonna say, is there any other ketchup? I feel like
Target wasn't around back then.
What?
So
well, forget it. The horse. No, please, but refresh our memory. What happens in the
Well, okay, I'll try.
You were 3.
It was just a commercial about ketchup, and there was a horse in it, and he liked the ketchup too. I guess there was but anyway, I got the commercial. And it was a national commercial. Do you remember the old TV show, Mr. Ed?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. So it was kind of a spoof off of that.
Oh, okay.
A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Of course. And so I went on a few more interviews, and I did some modeling. Like, we had a department store, which is now Macy's, but here it was called Birdine's at the time. And so I did some fashion at 3.
Wow.
Yeah. And so from then on, did a couple of years. And then when I got old enough to have feelings, like real feelings, I went out for a national commercial, and I didn't get it. And it really rocked my world at like 6 years old.
Oh, wow.
And my mom said, I am not putting my daughter through this. So she wanted me to mature a little more and be able to handle rejection. So
what? Hollywood is rejecting?
Yeah.
I know.
You mean you hadn't learned that lesson at age 6? That is crazy.
I had not. I should have, but I did not.
No.
I was like, what do you mean they don't want me? I was the best one there.
You're like, did you see the commercial with the horse?
It was the best.
Oh, I thought you almost said with the whore that got it.
Oh, no.
Her too. Her
No,
too.
that's a different commercial. The one with the horse.
I was 3. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. I saw the checks. I remember the checks.
Ooh, that's nice.
But so I started up again when I was about 15 and did Porky's. What?
Yeah, that was actually going to be the next question because I know that was your film debut, right?
It was when I was 16 years old.
Wow. And then I was going to ask, because being horror fanatics as we are, Porky's was directed by Bob Clark, who directed, Black Christmas, which is one of our favorite horror movies. What was Bob like to work with, like especially being the first film director you ever worked with?
He became my daddy, really. He is the reason why I came out to LA. He kind of took me under his wing and said, I want her to come out there to my mom when I was doing Porky's, and I will take care of her, I promise, and we'll get her all set up, and anything you need in between, until then, you call me. He also set up an interview for Ford modeling agency.
Wow, that's nice.
In New York. Really nice. Yeah. And she wanted to meet me, and I went out there, and she wanted to handle me. And I was, 16. My mom said, no, she is not moving to New York. So a lot of no's from my mother.
But I think my mom would say the same thing. I mean, I didn't move out till I was like 22.
Yeah.
And at that point, they were like, Tim, please leave. No, but I get 18. That.
I was 18 when I went to LA.
Oh, wow. Okay,
That's so young. I mean, but today, I mean, it was a different time.
It was a different time. It was safer, and I think we were more mature.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I really do. Yeah, we had to adult earlier.
Yeah, and that was so you were 16 when you did Porky's, and then you moved out to LA at 18.
I did.
So, and then I guess a few months before Night of the Creeps.
Yes, you did a movie called Thunder Run with John Shepard from Friday 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. Well, I
did.
So what was John Shepard like? Because he did Friday 13th Part 5, and then he became very religious, and he wanted nothing to do with horror films.
Yeah. So when you worked with him, was it pre extra religious time or post?
It was pretty funny. How I met John. Well,
church.
we got to the set. Okay. And our first scene was making love. The bedroom scene.
Good orientation to meeting someone.
Hello.
Meeting
How are you? Okay. Let's get to it. And he did tell me that I made a big deal about, I don't want to be naked. So it was interesting because we had to kiss in our first scene, and we were kind of, in bed after the fact talking. And he said, yeah, my fiance is going to love this. And she was very churchy as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was such a nice guy, really comfortable to be around, really, really comfortable to talk to. And I remember him being very religious, getting there, and really wanting to try out acting and whatnot. But I heard that through the grapevine that he had quit acting because of religious reasons. So
Yeah. And you know what, just not to say anything bad about that, because obviously everyone's on their own path. I know that he now has nothing but good things to say about the Friday the 13th movies. I think I'm just still sad that he didn't come back for Friday the 13th part 6, but then we got Tom Matthews.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so we love all these horror connections, obviously, between people's careers. But
I just wanted to say, 2 people not horror related, but I just have to ask. Did you get to meet Kim Cattrall on Porky's, and did you meet Cher on the set of Mask?
I did, and I did. Yeah. Well, Kim Cattrall was kind of in that group that wanted to de-virginize me. And Porky's, you know?
Yes.
And of course they were older, and you know, I was 16 and I was kind of not really allowed to hang out with them, but I did my stuff and went home, and I was very protected by Bob. So she was very nice. It was kind of like, hi, how are you? Same thing with Cher. Very, very sweet. Yeah, I mean, I have been so incredibly blessed to have met some of the most iconic, wonderful people in the industry. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And I mean, moving on to Night of the Creeps, what was the audition process like for that? Like, what did they tell you about the role, and what did you have to do in the audition for that role?
Well, I was the first one to be cast.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, Fred Decker had a crush on someone, and I reminded him of her. So I got the part. Immediately.
So the people that go to college and like train for theater and everything, it does not matter. But if you look like an ex-girlfriend, you're cast.
I'm telling you, it actually wasn't an ex-girlfriend. He just had this major crush.
Oh.
And and I always seem to get these sweet, innocent parts. I think because of my voice.
You have such a good voice, by the way.
But it's very it is sweet and innocent. It's great.
Well,
and I must ask, do people say that you sound and look like Sarah Silverman ever?
Oh my God, you too?
I just have to.
Yes, all the time.
But she's a beautiful comedian, and you are too.
Aww, thank you. Thanks.
So
they do.
Yeah, so he said you looked like someone he had a crush on, and you were cast immediately. That's amazing.
I was. Yes, I was cast immediately. So then Jason and Steve came next, of course. And they were switched for roles. So Steve was trying out, for Jason's part. Jason was trying out for Steve's part. And then Fred went and got a crutch and said, "Here, Steve, let me see you do that one." And so they were cast, and then so on and so on. But thank God, because we had a blast. We
it looked like it. And the guy that was so mean to you was on Mama's Family, Bud, right?
Yes.
Oh, her boyfriend in it, Brad. Yeah.
Yes, Brad.
Yeah. Did so before you got this role,
wait, did you like horror films and sci-fi before?
Oh, always. Yes.
That's a plus. I like when that happens.
I know. And I just about had a heart attack when I met Blair from The Exorcist.
Yes,
Linda.
She was at one of my signings, and I was like, "Will you throw up for
me?" No, that's cool. Well, because a lot of people we talk to, usually some of the more iconic horror movies are earlier in their careers, and it's kind of like, oh, I just, needed a paycheck or something. So it's nice if you're actually a fan too of the genre.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the paycheck was nice.
Of course.
But that had nothing to do with me wanting to be an actress. I love being other people. You know, I really do. I love the escape from reality, and being able to fantasize and be someone else. I think it's really fun and cool, even though I always seem to play me in some capacity.
Hey, that's great. I mean, who do you know better than yourself, right?
I know. I know.
So we're both huge fans of Night of the Creeps, and what I absolutely love about this movie is that, you know, it's funny, it's scary, it's self-aware. Yeah. It's almost like it's its own homage to the horror genre and B movie. Oh. But it was done years before like movies knew how to do that, you know?
Brad Decker is a total genius in my book, and his talent was way before his time, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing. He really is.
What was his directing style like? Because he also wrote and directed another one of our favorite horror comedies of the 80s, Monster Squad, and, which is great. But yeah, any memorable moments from working with him?
Oh my gosh. Well, he was just such a friend, you know, and he was so incredibly easy to work with. Very, very relaxed. And some people wouldn't really necessarily say that, because he always has this very intense look on his face, and he always does, you know, like that.
And for people listening, she just in case.
Thought about that.
Oh, she Jill was just kind of holding her chin and with a concerned look. Yes,
like a professor.
Yes. And he wouldn't say anything when this scene was done. He'd be like, uh-huh. Okay. What did you think? You know?
Oh, wow.
That kind of thing. And he kind of let us, how would you do it? Type of, you know, directing. What do you want to do? What do you want to bring to it? And then he would give his take on it, and we kind of mix and match, and, you know, we just had fun with it. A lot of fun. It wasn't like you have to do it this way and you have to say it that way and you didn't say it right. And, you know, a lot of ad-libbing. But yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah, well, speaking of, and so there's two of our first of our two favorite Cynthia moments in the movie. The first one was when you do the classic like wind up middle finger to your boyfriend Brad. So great. And I'm wondering, that was such a like funny, cheesy 80s-ish move. Like, was that in the script? Was it improvised?
It was in the script.
So it's like Cindy winds up a middle finger, and the best is that
I'm like, okay,
people
and I did it.
The best part is that people clap for you after it. It's like such a funny 80s.
No, I had it in me, did they?
I know. No,
I'm glad you got rid of him. He was very good looking, but a jerk.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yes. Well, that's the first, and then
I shot him. No, Jason shot him in the head.
Yes.
And you also had the flame blower. What is that?
Flamethrower.
Flamethrower.
The flame blower. You know, you're blowing flames. No, yeah, the badass flamethrower moment.
I was a badass, was I not?
Did you get trained, or how'd that come about?
Oh yeah, we went to a shooting range to be able to shoot. And then not a whole lot of training on the flamethrower. Hence the scene when we get locked in the shed, me and Jason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was an accident.
Wait, that was an accident?
Yeah.
Wait, getting locked in it, or?
No, when we got locked in it, there's a moment where I do the flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a little too soon, and Jason really did have to get out of the way.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So and I'm like,
sorry,
but I got him.
so that's like a real flamethrower, right? I mean, was it? Because I feel like That would be more scary.
It was before the days of CGI.
Well, but I mean, I feel like that'd be more scary to use than a gun, but you looked like you were totally like mastering it.
Oh, I like that thing. I did. I need one. Yeah, it was real. It was definitely real and very heavy.
I was just gonna say, because you're blowing it at, what were you blowing the flames at? Because obviously not actors. Like, was it like at molds or just at nothing and they added it in?
Well, so the camera would be in front of us and we are at an angle. And we were literally, they had the wall of the creeps and they would sliver them and we really would shoot them.
Wow.
That's so cool.
That is cool. You know, I also, speaking of the tool shed sequence, I read on IMDb that was a scene added later, like in reshoots, because I guess there was like a test screening that thought it needed more action. So
I don't remember that.
I mean, maybe it's wrong. I'm not saying IMDb is 100%.
You're wrong. Yeah. But no, I don't remember that. I wonder, I might be mistaken, but it might have been, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was a reshoot.
I know, yeah, and it seems so important. But yeah, this is when, like, that's when I think we love your character the best, because it's like, you know, like you said, she is kind of like a sweet, innocent girl, the girl that the girl next door that he has the crush on, and then she just like takes this flamethrower and just blows these zombies away. So it is a great moment.
I know, and it felt so good to have, you know, that side of me come out.
Yeah. What were some of were there any other favorite scenes that you remember from filming Night of the Creeps that stand out to you?
Gosh, I really loved them all. I really, really did. I loved all the night shooting and everything that went along with it. I watched a lot of the scenes when Jason and Steve were in the building with the first zombie and you know, he was frozen. And that was really great. That was really interesting. It's funny. The way that they just shot everything. And what was so much fun about it was Jason and Steve were a huge part of the fun, obviously. And we would be shooting the party and they would be at another frat party, you know, during filming, because we were on, you know, frat alley.
Oh, so they were really partying. Like,
yes.
That's so
funny. They were really going to parties. And it's like,
we're filming.
We got to get this scene done. Can you find Jason and Steve?
And just in case listeners know, that Jason Lively, who plays Chris, and Steve Marshall, who plays JC, who are the two other leads, the two friends in the movie. But any fan of Night of the Creeps will know that, of course.
And you also got to work with Tom Adkins as Scream King. I mean, so what was it like working with him?
He's very professional in a good way. But he also has a kid side, you know. And he was just cool. Anybody who meets him, that's like the perfect word for him. He's cool, right?
Yeah.
He's always, you know, during filming, he was pretty much always on, always joking around with us. And I didn't have a whole lot of scenes with him, but, you know, again, I was always around. And just is very sweet and still is. He's one of my favorite people in the whole entire world.
Do you know, he said multiple times that Night of the Creeps is his favorite movie that he's done ever.
It's because of us.
No, but I mean, I think that is such a cool thing, because like, just because he's done so many movies, he's known in the horror genre.
Oh, I know. But you know what is so, mind-blowing is when the Night of the Creeps first came out on DVD. And we were all flown up to Texas to Austin, Texas. And we had a reunion. And they did the interview while watching the movie. Remember?
That's so cool.
Right. And it's on the DVD, the first one that came out. And we had not seen each other for 20 years or so. And we all got together, and it was like no time had lapsed at all. We laughed. We were exactly the same like we were on the set.
I was just gonna ask, did Jason bring his siblings?
Oh,
No,
you mean like, yeah, like, did you
not.
ever meet, I guess it's Robin Lively or Blake Lively, either of them?
Of course. I worked with Robin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. On she was cheating on my Silver Spoons.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course.
So we guest starred on Silver Spoons, and we were both dating the same guy on Silver Spoons.
Ricky Schroeder?
Yeah, Ricky Schroeder.
Oh, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. So I guess Robin was his girlfriend, and I was only there for the summer. So he would go to the beach with me, but then he got caught. So yes, I know Robin very well. And we spent a lot of time at Jason's house. So his family's great. And Blake was very little. And it was literally like family. And what I wanted to say was thank you to all the fans, because you made Night of the Creeps. Because when it came out, we didn't have this following. When we went to Austin, Texas, and they told us how many people are involved in, Night of the Creeps and want Night of the Creeps on DVD, we were like, excuse me?
I have my copy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's actually one of the questions we're going to ask is that, and I think you just answered it, but it's like, did you know at the time that it would develop such a cult following? I mean, it's 35 years later and people love it.
No, not an inkling. I mean, it was not a part of my life anymore at all. And now it's a huge part of my life. Steve comes to visit me. I went to visit him. We all met in Utah, went snow skiing with Jason, our kids.
That's so cool that you're in touch with everybody. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's really, yeah.
So was there a premiere when the movie came out, or was there a screening or anything when it first came out?
In Austin, Texas. Oh, when it first came out.
Yeah. Like a red carpet premiere or anything?
Oh, in New York City. That's cool. Oh, Manhattan. That's kind of fancy.
I know.
What was it like seeing on screen for the first time, like this finished product?
It was pretty cool. But the coolest part was I went to my own screening.
Yeah.
That was really cool. So,
no, that's amazing.
The star.
Exactly.
No, I can imagine. But after the movie wrapped and premiered, was there ever talk of making a sequel? I mean, I know in recent years there were rumors.
Still is.
Really? So that's what I wanted to ask, because I've read so many. I've like confusion. Like first I had read that Tom Atkins said something about Fred Dekker wanting to make a sequel. Then Fred Dekker said, no, that's not true. But so what's going on with that? Please tell us.
Well, I don't think much, unfortunately. But we are always after Fred. Every time we see him. Okay, Fred, because my daughter is my mini me. And I actually did a show and she came. And people were like taking a second look, like, what? Wait, what? Wait a minute. Is that okay? This is weird. You look like Jill when she was in Night of the Creeps.
Wow.
Does she have any interest in being an actress?
Well, funny you ask. Same thing. She went on a couple of interviews, and one commercial was between her and another girl. She was 16.
Oh.
Nope. She was 14, 15, something like that. Anyway, she was devastated that she didn't get it. Devastated. So I pulled the old mom card and I said, okay, not until you mature, and able to handle rejection. Yes, I became my mother. and she just lost interest in it, really. She's very into sports. So that soccer became number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
path.
Absolutely.
That's great. So I guess then if Fred Decker approached you today and said, I want to do a sequel, you'd be all in?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. No, that is so, and it's so funny
Yeah.
because, and obviously Tom Atkins would be in. I'm sure Jason Lively and poor Steve is no longer with us in the movie.
But you know what? Anything can happen.
Yes, actually Tom Atkins isn't either, but hey, it's Night of the Creeps. Anybody
Well, you
can
know
come.
what? We could freeze Steve.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. No, you're right. No, but we love it that especially when people are up for reprising roles, like because these are such iconic roles that we as fans love you in and would so love to see like a sequel and stuff. A few questions about post Night of the Creeps work. So it's funny because right after Night of the Creeps, you did a movie called Ghost Chase again with Jason Lively. How did that happen again?
Emmerich. Well, I think he saw Night of the Creeps, and Roland was very young, and he, was still making films in Germany because we, flew to Germany and filmed all studio in Germany, and all the exterior was filmed in Los Angeles. I think that was soon after the Brat Pack was so popular that I think he was trying to create a new one.
Oh, the Night of the Creeps Pack.
Yeah, Creeps Pack.
Oh, okay. So it's like you guys he liked you guys working together and thought like, let's
keep
he
going. Did. He really, loved the chemistry and stuff. So, that's how we got that.
And then you did a movie called Twice Dead, and
I did, which just became just came out on DVD.
Yeah, we saw it. And so you played, yes, you played the sister of the very good-looking Tom Bresnahan. But I have to ask, something that was kind of funny when we were watching, like you guys are playing brother and sister, but there's so much chemistry between you guys that I'm like, is something going on that we shouldn't know about? So is there something we're supposed to gather? Please tell us.
Well, behind the scenes, and it's, I feel awful that came out on camera. But yeah, we were dating. Did we look like we were in love? Like
no, it just looked like you're about the same age, and like your parents kept leaving you in this mansion.
Wait, but I do love. So you guys were actually dating at the time. Okay, that makes so much sense. No, but it's not like it's like over the top. It's just like you guys are just like very close. Well, it's just very close, and I have a sister, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd be with her, and I'm like, wow, they've got a very close relationship. So I'm like,
oh yes, we did.
Oh wow! So you guys were dating and then playing brother sister. I love it.
I know, right?
Oh my God, no, that's great. But by the way, the fact that you had a cat in that movie named Meow is amazing.
I know, isn't that funny?
But the poor cat that gets like staked to the door.
I know. Well, they promised me that it was already dead. They didn't kill it for that scene. And I am an animal lover.
Me too.
I love animals, and I was very concerned about that scene. I'm like, you're not going to actually kill the cat, right?
You're like, no, that's what we have puppets for.
Yeah, but it looks so real.
Yeah, no, I know. And I own a black cat, so I love
Oh,
black
do
cats. And
you?
yes.
My cat is somewhere. She's black. He is black and white. He's very gender confused.
And then you were also in an episode of the Nightmare on Elm Street
you were on
series.
Freddy's Nightmares.
I was.
Did you meet Freddy? Did you meet Robert Englund himself?
I did not.
Oh.
But I was I was engaged
to Freddy.
after that.
I'm just kidding.
Not to him.
Yeah.
But to the guy that managed him. He was his manager. But I still never met him.
Oh, because I was like, it's so funny because I know that TV series.
That TV series is bonkers. Did you have a bonkers time?
It was so out there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, but he kind of, Freddie always like introduces the episodes. He's not always in it, but it was funny because we watched your episode and you're again the girl next door.
I know.
The guy has a crush on. Yeah, I know. The girl next door has a crush on, but it's good because I know then you're like trying to have a party at his place and stuff.
Right.
It's cool because it's like all these horror actors and actresses that we love being in some of these iconic franchises and things like that, which brings me to Bobby Heckman's Victim No More. Now, I know I heard from Bobby, and he, for listeners, is the one who we're so appreciative, connected us to Jill, that you have a cameo in his Friday the 13th fan film, Victim No More, playing a psychologist.
I know.
And that's so cool. So I know you can't really like tell us anything about it, but how do you feel about jumping into the Friday the 13th world? I mean, it has a huge fan base, you know?
So excited. I am so excited. My first question to him was, am I going to get bloody?
And he
I've
said,
never
I
been
can't tell
killed
you.
before. Well, actually, I no.
In Twice Dead, did you die in Twice Dead?
No.
No. You didn't die, but you also like double as like the spirit of the dead girl kind of thing.
Right.
So, but that's not getting.
Yeah, he stabs me. But it turns out to be not real.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you guys are filming later this year for Victim No More?
Yes, we are. I believe he said July. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, and that's going to be great. We're really looking forward to it as Friday the 13th fans, as fans of yours. I know he said there's other surprise cameos that he wouldn't even tell me about yet, so we're very excited about them. I know.
I'm originally from Ohio, and I noticed that you did a convention in Ohio. So I was just wondering, like, do you like doing conventions? Do you like?
I love doing conventions. I love it because I get to thank all my fans, and I'm a hugger. I'm a big hugger.
But not this past
I was going to say, this must have been a tough year then with the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. It's been horrible.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do Showboat, and it's been rerouted 4 times now because of stupid COVID.
Right.
Unbelievable. But I really miss, I usually do, 3 or 4 shows a year. Mm-hmm. And I've really missed it. But yeah, I love doing shows. I love the interaction between us, and the fans, and to be able to thank them, because if it weren't for fans like you all, we wouldn't be here today.
Oh, well, yeah, no. Oh, thank you. No, I mean, that's great. And I think that's such a great attitude to have. What is like the most common thing that people say to you when they come up to you at conventions or ask you about Night of the Creeps?
You still look the same. And I'm like, You want free autograph, don't you?
But you look great. No, but
Yeah.
you do look great. I mean,
Oh,
like,
Bold and
I
beautiful.
know the listeners can't see, but we'll take a screenshot. But like, yeah, you look great. No, that's so cool.
Oh,
Like,
thank
and I love that you love going to conventions because fans like us love conventions because
Yeah.
that's where we get to speak and interact with people that we love, you know?
I know. But yeah, you know, a main question that they do ask me, a lot of them recite, some of them cry, some of them stare from afar. And I'm like, did you want to come over here?
You're like, hello, I'm here. Yes.
Hi. You know, a lot of them want me to say, oh, Brad.
That's amazing. I love it.
Or, you know, Brad's an asshole. Or they want to hear the winding of the finger.
Yep, the good middle finger.
Suzanne Schneider's in that movie. Like,
I know, and I saw her because we were in Weird Science together.
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
God, I love.
Yeah.
Who do you like better, Robert Downey Jr. or Robert Rustler?
Oh dear. Oh God. Well, in movies, Robert Downey, of course. Because you know, Rustler doesn't really do much anymore. But I had a huge crush on Robert Rustler.
Didn't we all?
He ended up dating my roommate.
What?
Wait, he was
What?
Robert Rustler was dating your roommate?
Heidi.
Oh, Heidi.
Oh, Heidi.
Heidi.
I had it.
That's so funny. Well,
Heidi
you could
did not have a good nose.
well, look, you could live vicariously.
Sorry, Heidi.
You're like
Heidi loves our podcast.
Heidi's a big
Yeah.
listener. Yeah.
She's always writing.
Heidi,
It's so
Heidi,
fun-
Heidi. I had to get rid of her because she tried to date all my guys I liked.
So you took out the flamethrower and you're like, Heidi.
Exactly. Heidi.
Oh, so we have one final question for you, and thank you so much
Okay.
for all of your time. And
Oh
we
my
ask
gosh.
this to everyone we interview. What
Uh-huh.
is one thing that you can tell us about your experience working on Night of the Creeps that you've never told any other interviewer, publication, or podcaster? So one that even it's maybe it could be something that happened behind the scenes, maybe like an Easter egg. It could be anything as long as you've never mentioned it in any other interview.
Oh my gosh.
Zero pressure.
I know. No, this is our favorite question because it gets people thinking.
Yeah, right.
It could be like in one scene, there's a creep in the corner.
Ow. Oh dear. There was a creep in the corner. No,
I'm trying.
we used to drink beer in the morning when
Mm.
we wrapped.
Oh, wow. That makes sense because like you start and then you're done in the morning.
Yeah,
Oh.
we had to get tired.
Oh, so you guys like when it would wrap late, I guess late at night, early
Beer
morning. You
time. Well,
That's-
we would wrap at like 7 a.m.
Oh my gosh. And the first thing I want is a
Who-
nice beer.
who was the biggest beer drinker between you,
Jason.
Steven? Oh, Jason.
Jason
Wow.
still is.
Still is Jason Lively, a beer drinker. That's so funny.
Oh my gosh. He had in Germany while we were, beer country, while we were filming Hollywood Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the American version of it. Hollywood Monster. He built a humongous pyramid of beer cans in his room.
Oh, see, that's a
And it
great one.
covered the whole hotel window.
Oh my. And it was all beer cans that he had drank himself.
Yes.
Jill, did you help?
No, I really don't like beer.
I don't either. It's gross.
So what were you drinking when
Yeah.
they were drinking beer?
I drink beer.
Oh, you drank
in
Wait.
Germany?
In Germany or on after Night of the Creeps would.
Oh, after the Night of the Creeps. Well, I would have a beer with them because wine at 7 a.m.
Nasty.
Wow. And
Yeah.
did Tom Atkins partake in this or no?
Oh, of course.
He did. He was like, thrill me. Sorry, that's why he says that. I think.
Yeah. Fill me.
Yeah, fill me with beer. I know.
And then one other thing that you guys will probably get a kick out of, and I have told maybe one person before, but
We'll
never a podcast.
We'll let it slide.
Okay, only on a panel. Was that the infamous scene where I take my pajama top off, or I'm putting my pajama top on. You see the boobies.
You see the boobies.
We're okay, man. You're safe.
That was my idea.
Oh.
Really? What?
Well, yeah, because they had me wearing a bra to put my pajamas on because I won't do nudity. And so I'm like, that's just kind of silly. So I said, I it's just going to be a second, right? And Fred's like, yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I don't mind.
No, and good for you for like being true to role, because I don't wear bras, but I can't imagine girls would wear them under pajamas. That doesn't sound very comfortable.
I know nothing about girls.
Yeah, they wanted me to put the pajama top on and then take my bra off. And I said, but I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, well, good. See, now that's dedication to the role and to reality. Well, that's really cool. Well, look, we've had such a great time talking to you today.
It's been so nice to meet you. Thank you so
nice
much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for being on this podcast and for giving us all these stories.
Well, I sure hope I meet you guys one day in person.
Yes, we would love to meet you, and we're hopefully almost done with this COVID nonsense. And
my goodness, I know.
We're so grateful. Thank you so much for all your time, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Bye, Jill.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. Mwah.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Happy Horror Time. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, and many other platforms.
If you haven't already, please like and follow our Happy Horror Time page on Facebook. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Happy Horror Time to see all our glorious posts.
If you want to contact us, send us an email at happyhorrortime@gmail.com. Feel free to give us movie recommendations, interview suggestions, or just tell us how wrong we were about something.
We want to give a special thank you to our patrons for their support. If you'd like to be a patron, please visit patreon.com/happyhorrortime to sign up. Patrons get access to our monthly bonus episodes and exclusive content. We've actually built a pretty good-sized library of bonus content by now, and there's much more to come.
I'm Tim Murdoch.
And I'm Matt Emmert. And we hope you've had a happy horror time.